Have you ever scrolled through, social media, seen an image and thought, huh, what if I could just instantly change that person's face? Today, we're doing a deep dive into this pretty fascinating tool. It's a one-click web image face swapping Chrome extension that makes it incredibly easy.
Yeah, it really is. It's billed as like one of the fastest and most convenient ways to do this. And the cool part is it works right in your browser. It connects up to a powerful serverless AI in the background. So we're going to break down exactly how that integration works, what you need to actually get it running yourself, and maybe touch on what it means for, digital content.
Okay, that sounds incredibly convenient, almost too easy. But beyond just being a browser extension, what's the tech underneath? What really makes this tool special?
Well, the key, I think, is how seamlessly it integrates with a serverless API, specifically on RunPod. So instead of needing like complex software installed locally or, a high-end gaming PC.
Right, the heavy lifting is elsewhere.
Exactly. The AI model stuff, the processing, it all happens in the cloud. You just find an image on, say, x.com or Facebook, right-click, and boom. The processing happens remotely. It makes it super fast and honestly accessible to pretty much anyone with Chrome. It really sort of democratizes access to this kind of AI.
Okay, so for someone listening who wants to try this, what are the actual steps? How do you get it set up? Are there any tricky bits?
Yeah, there are a couple main parts to the setup. First, you need to actually grab the extension itself. It's called Face Swap extension. You download it as a ZAP file from GitHub. Then you go into Chrome's settings, Chrome.extensions.
The developer mode stuff.
Exactly. You flick on developer mode and then click load unpacked and point it to the folder you unzipped. That gets the extension installed kind of manually.
Okay, extension installed, but then you need to connect it to the engine, right? RunPod.
Precisely. RunPod is basically this cloud platform. It gives you access to powerful GPUs on demand, the graphics cards you need for heavy AI tasks. So you need two critical things from RunPod. First, a RunPod API key. Think of it like a password, your unique credential so the extension can talk to their service.
And you only see that once, I read.
That's right, only once when you generate it, so you absolutely need to copy and save it somewhere secure immediately. Second, you need to deploy your own FaceSwap API endpoint.
Okay, what does deploying an endpoint actually mean here?
It just means you're setting up your own personal copy of the face-swapping AI model on RunPod servers. You'll pick a pre-configured project, the source mentions one by Ashley Canhons called FaceSwap, then choose a decent GPU, like maybe a 24 GB or 32 GB one for good performance.
Gotcha.
You also set max workers, which is basically how many swaps it can try to do at the same time, maybe like 3 to 5. Once that's all deployed and running, RunPod gives you a unique post URL. That's the specific address your extension sends the images to.
And you need credit on your RunPod account for this to work, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. It's pay as you go, so you need some funds in your account to cover the GPU time.
All right, so let's say we've navigated the setup, done the technical bits. How simple is it then to actually do a face swap?
It's surprisingly straightforward, really. In the extension's own settings in Chrome, you first upload the face you want to use for swapping, your source face. You save that maybe it's you, maybe it's most handsome man on earth 30 years ago, whatever you want.
Right.
Once that source face is saved, you just browse the web like normal. Find an image on a site it supports, right-click the image.
Yeah.
You'll see face swap in the menu. Click that.
And it just happens.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The extension sends the image and your chosen source face info off to your RunPod endpoint. A few seconds later, depending on the GPU, the swapped image should appear.
Now, you mentioned natural results earlier, but also minor issues. How good are we talking? Does it get weird if, say, someone's partly covering their face?
That's a really good point. The source material does highlight that it often gets remarkably natural results. It handles different skin tones, different facial structures pretty well. But yeah, you hit it if the original face is partly blocked, maybe by hair or a hand or sunglasses.
The AI has less to work with.
Exactly. Less data means it might struggle a bit, leading to those minor glitches or inconsistencies. It looks best on clear, well-lit, front-facing pictures. And, while it handles varied faces, it's probably best to avoid really extreme differences in age or like body type between the source and target for the most seamless results. It's clever, but not quite magic yet.
Okay, makes sense. So the final piece, the cost. This kind of cloud GPU stuff used to be, well, pretty expensive. Is this going to break the bank?
That's actually one of the most interesting parts. It's incredibly affordable. Using something like a powerful 4090 GPU on RunPod, each swap costs, get this, something like 0.003 to 0.006 USD, so fractions of a penny.
Wow. So like 100 swaps might cost what, 30 to 60 cents?
Yeah, roughly in that ballpark. It's really, really cheap per operation, which kind of signals where things are going, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Complex AI tasks becoming almost like commodity services. It make these advanced tools genuinely accessible.
So there you have it. You've just learned how you can leverage a, well, remarkably accessible and pretty powerful face swapping tool right from your browser, all powered by cloud AI. It's actually quite fascinating how easy it is to get going once you understand those RunPod bits.
Indeed. And it does raise that bigger question. As AI tools make this kind of sophisticated image manipulation so effortless, almost trivial
Mhm.
for anyone, what does that accessibility really mean for, well, how we see digital content, authenticity, and maybe even how creativity itself might change? It's a powerful capability, now very much in the hands of the many.